Join us today for a Munro with only 600 metres of ascent from start to finish. I'm Alistair and this is the Highland Hikers. So thank you for joining us again today. Oh, midges are out already. I am up near Drumochter, just slightly north of Dalwhinnie, and I am taking in Meall Chuaich today. This Munro has a decent distance to it. It's about 14 kilometres from start to finish, but most of that is the walk in and the walk back out, with there only being just over 600 metres of ascent on this walk. If you wanted, you could probably bike in. There's a cracking, gravel path the whole way in there, which I'm guessing is to lead into the hydroelectric scheme. I'm standing right next to an aqueduct, which I believe kind of goes down to a wee small reservoir just to the south of Dalwhinnie. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. It's been a while since we've done a Munro. In fact, this, if I get to the top, which I'm hoping to, this should only be my third Munro of the year, and it's September, which is bizarre. So I'm going to crack on because the midges are eating me alive already, and we'll see you further up the road. There's probably going to be a bit more chatting on this hike, given the lengthy walk in and walk back out. And also, you may have been wondering, why have they not been posting much this year, considering every year we've done a good 20-30 at least videos, but this year has been significantly less. So basically, the long and short of it comes down to quite big changes at home, and been concentrating personally on that. I know Dougie was doing a marathon earlier in the year, so a lot of his time was taken up training for that. And since then, it's been almost injury after injury, and a wee bit myself as well, recovering from an issue with my foot. So we'll see how that goes today. So the main it's been a big change in my life earlier this year. I've completely changed careers. So for the last 15 years, I was a police officer and spent a good deal of that working in IT areas. That was my background. I met Dougie at uni studying IT, and yeah, joined the police 15 years ago and worked there for quite some time. Last year I decided to kind of change my career path within the police, and I didn't really enjoy it after that. It was a big change to my lifestyle. I started to have to work shifts again instead of working Monday to Fridays, and with a young family, that kind of had a big impact on that. Plus I was going back to doing work that I hadn't done in almost 10 years, and I just kind of felt like either I'm not cut out for this anymore, or my lifestyle doesn't suit my lifestyle anymore. So that change in what I was doing on a day-to-day had a big effect on me. I was struggling quite a bit, and I ended up being probably quite depressed, to be honest. And I really struggled with that, and it certainly had other health implications. If you look back at some of our videos from last year, I was just so ill a lot of time. Remember Ben Vorlich and Ben Vorlich walk anyway. I was absolutely dying that day. Yeah, I remember that hike. We'd anticipated doing both, and we got to the top of the first one. It was really windy, and I was absolutely gubbed. Like, I could have just lain down at the top and gone to sleep. That's how knackered I felt that day. And I remember when the video came out, my mum said to me that she thought I looked really ill in that video, and I think that kind of hammered it home. So towards the end of last year and the beginning of this year, decided to see what else was out there, out with the police. And DJI, being a great friend that he is, pulled some strings, and I was able to get a job at the same company as him, where I've now been for pretty much 6 months now, and really enjoying myself. Noticed a massive change in all kind of own behaviours, a lot happier, and just getting to spend a lot more time at home with my family, which is absolutely great. And I'm really enjoying that. And I suppose for the rest of the summer, anytime I was deciding I was going to go out, it's always been a bit minging, and I've always used that as an excuse to not go out. But today, weather looked great, so here I am, 2-hour drive north from Glasgow to get to Dalwhinnie, and then the walk's only like 4 to 5 hours long, and another 2 hours back down the road. So next time up this way, we'll stay overnight somewhere and get a couple of Munros bagged on multiple days, injuries permitting. Not far from the base of the mountain now, although from here it doesn't look that tall at all. So you could be forgiven for thinking this isn't Munro, but got to remember you're already like 400 metres up at this point, and the summit's just over 900, so it's not a huge amount to get to the top. So if you're unfit, overweight, severely lacking in cardiovascular level, or decent cardiovascular levels, or however you would call that, you'll be happy to know after about 200 metres of ascent, it flattens out. I think the steepest bit is that first bit, but we shall see as we go on. Although thankfully it has been dry for a good few days now, and this bit here below me is isn't very boggy. I think in even slightly damp conditions this would be horrible, but pretty much able to walk straight across, thankfully. Onwards and upwards. And there we have it, the summit of Meall Chuaich, which has an interesting name. So I believe it was Hill of the Drinking Cup, or hill of the drinking something it is. And those of you who have been to Scottish weddings may have seen a wee part of the ceremony where they drink from the quaich, and they'll take a wee sip of whiskey from it. I actually wish I brought a wee dram now. But the hill is very, very kind of, it's a bit flat summited. It goes on for quite a bit, and I've taken shelter right underneath the cairn here because it's very windy now. And but it has been so long since I've been up in Munro, and wow, it's just great to be back up here again and just getting fantastic views. I can see way over to see the distillery of Dalwhinnie talking about whiskey. And away up towards Aviemore, and then also in the distance the main Cairngorm summit plateau, and a few of the big ones up there. And Meall Chuaich got a height of 951 metres, but all I'm going to say is those mountains up at the Cairngorms look like they are so much taller, and I appreciate that they are, but you already feel like you're quite high up, and they just look to be another level once again. Oh, the sun's coming out a wee bit. So you might wonder, what does a Highland hiker have in his pocket seats for summit snacks? I have an Empire biscuit. Oh yes! Way back down, sun has come out and the view is brilliant. You can see over to Cairngorms, which is the only other Munro I've done up in this region. Did it last year, and ended up getting lost at the summit of the second one in that walk. It's at Drumochter, and it just goes to show how easy it is to get lost up the top of these ones, especially up in the Cairngorms. Up here at Meall Chuaich, if the cloud came in and you didn't know which way you were going, then you would easily walk off the wrong way off the summit and extend your walk for a considerable distance at best. So yeah, can't stress enough how much you need some navigation skills and the proper equipment in order to do these. Thankfully today is not one of those days, and I can see for miles and miles. So I'm now off the mountain and back in the glen with another 4 kilometres back to the car, which doesn't seem too far. Just what, 45 minutes I think, maybe an hour. We'll see how I feel, especially since it's been a while since I've done any sort of walking. My legs might be a wee bit achy in a bit, but this has been a very enjoyable day out. I'm going to get back in time for dinner as well, considering I'm that far from Glasgow. I think that's pretty decent going. So it's estimated that the walk should only take you 4 to 5 hours. I'm probably within that. I've not even looked at how long it's taken me, to be honest, but it has been great to get back out, stretch the legs, and hopefully be the start of a few more Munros. That was number 63 for me today, and I wonder if I can get to 70 before the end of the year. It's possible, but whether we'll find the time and the weather windows as winter comes in will be a different matter. But just as you can see behind me, Meall Chuaich, and then just over here, can't quite see it, that's a big, it's Loch Quaich. So I think this is meant to be the drinking vessel here that we're all drinking out of when we're having a drink from the quaich. I'm totally rabbiting on now. Anyway, if you have enjoyed our video, give us a wee like and consider subscribing. It will help us out massively. And yes, we shall see you on another hike.